G'day and welcome back to the channel, WalkingCairns. This is actually wasn't meant to be a real video, but if it turns out good, I'll still put it on the channel. Basically, this is I'm going to do a walk from Palm Cove, past the palm trees at Nunu's down to Clifton Beach, where the mushroom rocks are, and then come back. It's such a beautiful day. I can't resist taking a video. But as I said, this isn't meant to be a real video. If it turns out good, I'll put it on. But what it's to do is to test. I've just got I think a 5 to about 8 stop ND filter, and I think this is 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. This is set at 6 stops. So I'm using the cinematic style, so 30 frames a second and 1/60th of a second shutter speed. So we'll see how this goes. The 32 or the 5 stop ND filter wasn't really dark enough, and I was having a bit of trouble with the camera being able to configure the ISO so that it wouldn't give too much blown out highlights on the water and so on. Okay, so let's see how it goes. I've also changed to 30 frames a second rather than 25 because it was getting a bit of jitter on some of the displays I was testing it on. So we'll see how this goes. 30 frames a second. Okay, 60th of a second shutter speed, so we'll see how it goes. So I'll spin it round and there we go. Remember, if I do put this on YouTube, like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And please do it on YouTube because I need the algorithm to start pushing these videos, because at the moment, they're not pushing them at all. See ya, bye. Take care of yourselves. Okay, so let's go. This is obviously Palm Cove. Water's a bit rougher than the last time we were here, but it's still a beautiful day. And the tide's a fair bit out. You can see Haycock Reef. I don't know whether you can see on this, but Haycock Reef is sticking out. I want to do that walk from just behind Buchan's Point to Double Island when the tide gets really low, but it's not low enough at the moment. And there's the jetty. It always makes me feel like I'm on holiday when I'm here. I don't know. Absolutely magnificent. Absolutely. Well, we'll go for a walk then. I'll just pan it round slowly. And we'll walk to Clifton Beach. Okay, so let's do it. Maybe I'll show you more of the beach. There we go, that's better. Okay, let's go. Go down by the water. Well, there's a couple of guys on the beach. You don't see that very often. Mostly just girls and ladies on the beach. Try and walk slowly so I don't get too much up and down camera shake on it. The gimbal takes care of most of it, but not the up and down bit. This is my Osmo Pocket 3 camera today, not the Action 5 I've been using lately. This is a much better camera, bigger sensor. And also it focuses. This one focuses quite well and quite fast, whereas the Action 5 has a fixed focus, so everything's in focus there, so you don't get any blur out. Which is good, because when I'm down here, sometimes I like to talk to the camera and still have the background there, which you can't do on this camera, because if it's focused on me, it'll blur the background out. There's quite a few people on the beach. Well, for this part of town anyway. As you can see, it's magnificent. You can see Earl Hill there to the left, and Yorkeys Knob. The last little bump before it hits the Coral Sea. I don't know whether you can see it on the camera, but there's 3 piles of rocks out there. Well, actually only 2. Haven't built the third one yet. Here we come to the palm trees at Nunu's. We walk on by. Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm on holiday when I'm out here walking the beach. Good excuse to get me out of the house, away from doing jobs. We've done 3 jobs so far today. Fixed the circuit breaker box, which I broke yesterday by leaving it open and putting the garage door down. So I fixed that. Washed the sheets and made my wife some rice. That's 3 jobs done. Just have to go back and fix the stove next. Keeps blowing the circuit breaker when it goes on. G'day. And there are the palm trees, look at that. Bloody magnificent, really. That's the corner there. They've got to do something with that chill complex there. Chill and Portofino's. Such a great spot. Used to be fantastic. Here we go, beautiful. What do they say? Beautiful one day, perfect the next? Bloody right, really. Except in rainy season. I wouldn't be saying it then. Taylor's Point down there. Nice beach there. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. When we get past Nunu's here, we'll just go and have a look at the estuary there, see if we see any crocodiles. I haven't seen one this year yet. I can't remember if I saw one last year. But now we're getting dingoes. They've been around for a few years, the dingoes. Sometimes see them walking down the road. I'll take my kid to school. But just recently, in the past week or so, maybe 2 weeks, they've been putting signs up. Be dingo aware. I think that's because a lot of the visitors and some of the new arrivals keep thinking they're dogs. Somebody told me that there was a lady who saw one of these dogs going down the road, or a dingo, and felt sorry for it, so she tried to get it in a car and take it to the vet. Obviously that didn't work out very well. I don't know how true that is. There's the Alamander. Beautiful views. Nunu's there. Fantastic palm trees. Look at that. Mountains in the background. There's the chapel where people get married. I haven't seen anybody using it lately. They're all getting married on the beach. So let's go and have a look. Not quite there yet, but Okay, let's go up and have a look. It looks like the weather's been bringing some of the sand back in. Look at this. I don't know whether you can pick up the relief on the video, but yeah, it's about 1 metre. So it looks like the water's brought about 1 metre of sand back in, which is good. I don't know if you can see that, because it did strip it out at one time. And the council was thinking they have to move in tons of sand. Okay, let's go and have a look. Oh, it's way down. It's normally a lot higher than this. There's the water level anyway, and it's cut off from the Coral Sea as well. So let's have a look. There we go. Let me put it up a bit. Beautiful. And you can see it's cut off from the Coral Sea, which is good because now it means we can walk across. Okay, so let's go back down. This sand's very hard to walk on. And continue the walk to Clifton. How you going?
Good.
YouTube.
Okay.
WalkingCairns, all one word if you want to have a look.
Okay.
All one word. Maybe I should have a chat with some of the visitors up here on camera. Although a lot of people are camera shy. Yeah, when it's a fairly low tide like this, you can really see how much sand has been brought in. See, look at that. It's at least it's about 500 mil there to 1 metre. Pity it didn't do it with Kawara. Well, not the bit where the barbecue area is anyway. Did it where the Love Shack is, but not where the creek is, but not where the barbecue area is. And that's, you remember that's Clifton there, where the piles are. You can see the excavator there starting to put in the third lot of mushroom piles of rocks. But down the end there, that's Kawara Beach. And for some reason the sand hasn't been brought in there. Oh yeah, maybe even more than 1 metre. Maybe even 1.5 metres of sand there. Yeah, look like cliffs. Yeah, amazing. Just walking by the beach access to the Pullman Hotel, or from the Pullman. It's where they have the Temple of Taste, or Sea Temple. Not sure what the name is really. Temple of Taste on the sign, but everybody calls it Sea Temple. When we get there, I'll just pan it round so you can have a look at the sign. Here it is here, over there. Woman, Temple of Taste, V-Spa. Yeah, everybody calls it Sea Temple. Oh well, there you go, live and learn. Yeah, last night was one of the coldest nights I can remember. Got down to about 8.5 degrees or something. That's really cold for here. Even in the morning it was about 18 at about 8 o'clock. Pretty cold. We don't normally get it that cold. But clear skies, as you can see. Clear blue skies, I suppose. That won't do anything good for the water temperature in my pool. I was hoping that was going to get up closer to 25 so I can go for a swim. At the moment it's sitting around about 21. Of course, my daughter will go in because she's a kid. They don't seem to feel the cold. But, no. Too cold for me. The sea temperature's around about 23, 24. What it says on the signs. Of course, you never know how accurate the thermometers are. It's like a clock, really. You never know how accurate a clock is either. That's why years ago, when they were sailing from the UK to Australia, they had 2 clocks on board because they needed the clocks to determine what the longitude was. You can determine the latitude by looking at the stars and the sun. But longitude, no, that's the problem. So what they used to do years ago, I suppose, is they used to sail down the old boats, they used to sail down the coastline, due south or north or whatever. And then when they got to the right latitude, they'd turn east or west and maintain that latitude all the way across until they hit the next coast. And that was the way they used to do it. When they used the convict route to Australia, they used to do that, but it took too long, so they decided to make it go quicker by going via Argentina, picking up supplies in Argentina, and then coming across somewhere around about the Arctic Circle, and then coming up to Australia, into Tasmania or Melbourne. The trouble is, they didn't know what longitude they were on. So when they came up, it led to quite a few accidents and shipwrecks. So if you go down the Great Ocean Road, you'll see lots of shipwrecks because they didn't have the longitude all that accurate. It's a great trip, the Great Ocean Road in Victoria. Go down south in South Australia and then come across coastal route. Seems to take forever, but it's a beautiful part of the coastline. Same as up here from Palm Cove up to Port Douglas on that coast road there. That's another great coast road you should try and take. Fantastic. In fact, I might drive up there and to Port Douglas and do some filming. Take my daughter with me, and she can film. I set her in the right hand side of the vehicle, and she can film the coastline on the way up there. Spectacular. Another coastline that's really spectacular because of the rocks and the colour of the water is on the way down south in South Australia. Down from Second Valley, I think, Second Valley there, down to Rapid Bay, around that area. Beautiful scenery down there. I haven't done many coastal drives in Western Australia, so I don't know. Well, I haven't done any really. I've just driven down there for work to Margaret River, Bossleton. Wumbury. Nice part of the world down there. Council has spent some money in that area for the tourists. Place I really want to go and see is Broome. I always thought that would be like Cairns. You know, 20 years ago I would have said that would have developed tourism like Cairns, but it hasn't. I guess it's just too hard to get to. But they've got great things there. They've got the reefs and they've got the dugongs. Yeah, pristine beaches. Be amazing up in Broome. Never been though. One day before I die, I must get myself to go there. Okay, here's the bridge across the creek. Creek from Dead Man's Gully. And that's cut off too. I think the last time we came, we couldn't get over this. Had to walk back. Yeah, it's all cut off. And look at that. That amount of sand they brought in, that must be, yeah, 1.5 meters. Bordering on 2 meters of extra sand. Amazing where the sand comes from and where it disappears to. But the southeasterly trade winds have started to pick up, and as you can see by the water, it's getting a bit more choppy. Oh, somebody's got a yacht out there. And somebody's on a jet ski. Well, you can really see Haycock Reef sticking out between Double Island and Haycock Island. A lot of people walking the beaches. Very nice. Must be low 20s at the moment. Very nice for walking. Okay, we reached the dog-free area here. Some people's dogs are really good and some people's dogs are not really good. They run and jump up you. Frightening for little kids, really. Most of the dog owners are pretty good, keeping the dogs under control, but some aren't. Some aren't very good at all. You get quite a few well, I wouldn't say quite a few, but occasionally get dog attacks up here. I suppose dog owners are a bit like cyclists. Some of them don't think the rules apply to them. Good day. Yeah, there's quite a few people on the beach. Amazing. There's some very expensive houses here, just off the road. I love these coconut palms. They make everything look tropical. Then the trouble is, it costs the council a fortune to denut them all the time. So they're a bit hard to manage. Plus the rats love getting in the fronds at the top. Makes pruning them a bit of a nightmare sometimes. So I dare say the council's a bit anti them, but I love them. Oh look, we've got some more people coming into Cairns on the airplane up there. Yeah, Cairns is an international airport. Quite amazing really, considering the size, but it is. It's the only real international airport north of Brisbane. Say in Queensland there's only 2 real international airports, and that's Brisbane and Cairns. There's airports that say they're international, but they're not really. One swallow does not make a summer, as they say, and one international flight occasionally does not make you an international airport. We do get new airlines coming in and airlines disappearing. Some airlines like China Southern want to go seasonal, especially around the end of the year and also into February with Chinese New Year, and then they pull out again. That's just the way it is. Singapore Airlines get direct flights to Singapore from here. We used to have Cathay Pacific here, Air New Zealand here, Philippine Airlines here, but they've sort of gone. We do have Air Asia coming in now, direct flights to Bali with connections elsewhere, although I can't seem to book it. I'm trying to get to Bangkok. I can't seem to book it on Air Asia anymore. He's telling me there's no flights. And when I book them individually, there are flights, so I don't know what's going on. I don't think the website's very good. Well, their mobile app's hopeless. Most mobile apps aren't very good, to be honest. You've got to do it on your PC. The web's a lot better. Okay, let's go and look at these rocks, see what's happening with the sand movement, and we'll see. Yeah. More palm trees over there. These beech almond trees are quite pretty this time of year, with the leaves going yellow and red. Everybody walks by me because I can't walk very fast because I'm trying not to get that up and down motion. So I'm walking like a bit like somebody on the moon walks. You see what I mean? People have got their dogs off the lead, and I don't think the dog area starts until just down there. So they're in the dog on leash area, not the dog off leash area. But as I said, rules don't apply to some dog owners, a bit like cyclists, unfortunately. Yeah, Cairns is a very dog-friendly place. Dogs are allowed in restaurants, all sorts of things up here. I don't particularly mind when the dog's well behaved, but often when you get a few dogs in a room, they're just bloody barking at each other. Let's see what's happening up here. Yeah, this one's not connected to the Coral Sea either. Been mounded up, must be 2 meters high, this sand. That'll go soon in wet season. It'll carve its way out to the sea again. Beautiful. Dead Man's Gully. Well, there's the rocks up there. Let's go and have a look. Whoops, sand's a bit soft. Should go and do a short on the third rock pile at Clifton. Yeah, these rock piles are a lot bigger than the ones at Ellis Beach we saw the other day. A lot bigger. Or maybe the ones in Ellis Beach have been washed away a bit, and they're going to have to dump some more in. Council will be on it. Council's bloody good up here. even though the rates have just gone up. But they do a lot of work to keep this place tourist ready, as I like to call it. Okay, we're coming up to these rocks now, so let's have a look. Wonder how long it's going to be before somebody climbs on the rocks and twists an ankle or breaks a leg. Yeah. It's very attractive though, you know, to kids. You know, you put some rocks up there, they're going to climb on it. If I was a kid, I'd be climbing on it. Even as a young adult, I'd be climbing on it. Probably fishing off it too. Because in a year or two, there'll have lots of fish hanging off these rocks. And it also breaks up the beachscape a bit, which I quite like. Now let's see how this is going. The argument is, if they put a groin out to stop the sand moving from the south up towards the north, in other words from Clifton Beach up to Palm Cove, it would mound up on the southern side and wash away on the northern side. So by putting these circular pile of rocks, they're saying that it shouldn't wash away from the northern side. So we'll see. So let's have a look. Is that with certainty seems to have mounted up the sand here. Yeah. So let's have a look. There it is. Oh, I thought it was a piece of glass. It's a rock. Okay, let's have a look at these rocks then. Doesn't appear to be washing away. There's a metre and a half of sand here. But is it asymmetrical? Let's go and have a look. Yeah, it certainly doesn't appear to be washing away. Not here anyway. Go and have a look at the other side. Just move it round, show you the rest of the beach. Well, there's that yacht. Looks like it's going into Double Island. There's the jetty. Yeah, very good. Okay, back to the rocks. Let's have a look. Okay, oh wow, it's a fair bit of sand mounted up here. This is sort of in the middle of the rock formation. And it's a gritty sand too. Different to the sand up there. Oi. And there's Clifton Beach. Over there. Here's where they chopped some trees down, took a facility down, I think a barbecue area, so they could get access, the trucks could get access to the beach to dump all these rocks. Beautiful beach, Clifton Beach, especially if it was just here. Okay, so here's the rocks. So where are we? Standing in the middle of the rocks now. This is the middle of the rocks. So that's the sand on this side, the northern side. And this is the sand on the southern side. Oh yeah, it does seem a bit more mounted up on the southern side, doesn't it? Oh well, I see with time, I suppose. We haven't any really big tides at the moment. You can see there's the second pile of rocks there. And then the excavators are working on the third pile, just up there. Hopefully it's a good success. This is a pippy breeding ground here. So you can, if you love pippies, you can dig for them here. I used to come and dig for them, but they're full of salt, so I've given up. Not salt, rather, full of sand. So I've sort of given up. Oh, well, there we go. We're at Clifton. Beautiful Clifton Beach. For a suburban beach, this is probably my favourite. Because there's hardly anybody here most of the time. You can just sit there in the barbecue areas and just look out at the ocean and the beach and the palm trees. And from those palm trees just there, if you're the other side of them, you get a really good look at Double Island. Great for photo shots. And there's Earl Hill, Taylor's Point. And you can just see the hotel or whatever it is in between those two mounds. That's Trinity Beach. Okay, we'll leave it there. Just spin it round. Okay. If you did tune into this walk, I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And take care of yourselves. Till next time. Bye-bye.